Episode 1 wastes no time. We get straight to it. We meet our main character, who we're gonna call Pinky, and she literally opens the door to a horrific nightmare scene. And then she sees this girl flying in the distance. That girl seems to be fighting whatever is floating in the sky, causing all of the destruction. The girl in the distance mouths something to her, but we can't hear it because we're too far away. Pinky is saying that somebody needs to do something, somebody needs to help her. She shouldn't be doing this all by herself. And that is when the cutest familiar of all time appears, and we're gonna call him Cube. Cube tells Pinky that if she wants, she can save the girl, and she can change how all of this is going to end. She just has to make a contract with him to become a magical girl. And just like that, she wakes up and relieved that it was all just a really weird dream. The music in this show, so good. Such a good soundtrack. In typical anime fashion, we watch as Pinky is late for school and is rushing out the door with toast in her mouth. Very magical girl coded. To a T. She meets up with her friends and they walk the rest of the way to school, and we're gonna call them Blue Bestie and Green Girly, okay? Good. The entire class is super excited because today they have a new student joining them, and we're going to call her Edgy Gal. She freaks out because she realizes that's the girl from her dream. But it only gets weirder when she stares at Pinky directly, which only makes her feel even more uneasy. During the class break, Edgy Gal is being, swarmed by girls because she's the new girl. Honestly, super inclusive. I think every new kid's nightmare is that nobody's gonna talk to them. She then starts to become a little overwhelmed and feels a little dizzy and tells them that she wants to go lay down in the nurse's office. Edgy Gal then gets up from her seat and walks over to Pinky's desk because, you guessed it, Pinky is the nurse's aide. As they're walking to the nurse's office, Edgy Gal is leading the way, and Pinky is trailing behind her. Pinky starts asking her questions because she's clearly uncomfortable and doesn't like the silence. She's like, so how did you know I was like the nurse's aide for the class? Edgy Gal is not saying a word. She's not responding to anything Pinky is saying, so Pinky just continues to word vomit, basically. When it seems like they're totally alone, Edgy Gal turns around, looks Pinky dead in the eyes, and asks her a very serious question.
Do you treasure the life you currently live?
Do you consider your friends and family precious to you? And Pinky is shocked, because what? But even though she's shocked, she still answers the question and says that, yes, those things are very precious to me, and they will always be precious to me. Very righteous main character energy, love to see it, that's what we're here for. Again, magical girl anime. Right? Right. Edgy Gal then tells her that as long as she stays exactly who she is and doesn't change, then she won't have to worry about losing those precious to her. After school, Pinky, Blue Bestie, and Green Girly head off to eat some food, and they end up talking about the new girl. And that's when Pinky tells them what Edgy Gal said to her. Also that she's pretty sure she's met her in a dream before or something. Blue Bestie jokes about how they probably knew each other in a past life and that's why blah blah blah. But Green Girly is actually very invested and asks Pinky questions like, so how did you guys meet in the dream? And Pinky admits that she actually doesn't really remember the dream. Green Girly concludes that odds are she's probably just seen Edgy Gal around somewhere. She was floating around in Pinky's subconscious, and that's why she was in her dream. Cut to the cute familiar from Pinky's dream, Cube, who is running underground, dodging attacks from Edgy Gal, who is now dressed up just like the girl from Pinky's dream. Blue Bestie and Pinky say goodbye to Green Girly and head their separate ways. And while they're out shopping, Pinky then hears a voice in distress calling out to her saying, help me, please. So Pinky wanders off and just follows the voice because main character energy. Pinky finds herself in this closed off area and starts calling out to the voice, asking if she knows them, where they are, and then Cube falls from the ceiling. He's all beaten up. Pinky cradles Cube, and he's asking her for help, and that's when Edgy Gal appears, and Pinky puts two and two together that Edgy Gal must be the one that has beaten up Kyubey. Before anything else can happen, Blue Bestie appears out of nowhere with a fire extinguisher, tosses that at Ejigal, grabs Pinky, and they are off. And suddenly, the environment around them changes completely. They're surrounded by these creepy creatures. Blue Bestie begins to freak out, rightfully so. She keeps asking Pinky to tell her, this is all just a bad dream, none of this is real, like everything's okay. Before anything can actually attack Blue Bestie, Pinky, and Kyubey, a stranger appears out of nowhere. Thank God. She thanks them for protecting Kyubey. She tells them that she needs to handle the situation, and then transforms into a magical girl right in front of them. Attacks the monsters around them, which causes the environment to shift back to normal. Ejigal appears, and she is told by the stranger to leave, and that she is willing to overlook what Ejigal did as long as she leaves right now and doesn't bother them. And with a final stare right at Pinky, Ejigal is gone. The stranger, who we are going to call Yellow Mentor, then heals Kyubey and explains that he knows who they are because he wants to make magical girl contracts with them. And that is how episode 1 ends.